You're listening to the Snipers Club, and this is our NRL Finals preview for Week 3. Well done to the Panthers. How good were they yesterday? Especially James Fisher-Harris and Moses Leota, who just carried the ball so well. They look super disruptive. So today we'll find out who'll face them in the grand final. We've only got 2 games left of the regular season, guys. So fingers crossed we have some really exciting action, and today's could be a cliffhanger. It could go right to the wire. So let's waste no more time and let's move on to the preview. Guys, if you wouldn't mind and you don't follow us already on Spotify, please do hit the follow button and potentially give us a follow as well on Twitter. That'll help us grow our profile and make the group a much better place for everyone. So today's game between the Broncos and the Warriors takes us to Suncorp, where conditions are set to be absolutely perfect. Let's kick off with some quick stats. Stat 1 comes from the Rugby League eye test, and he's a really good contributor, guys. So if you don't follow him already on Twitter and read his articles, he's absolutely excellent. He's particularly good on the Sharks and the Warriors, so keep an eye out for him and give him a follow as well. So the first one concerns meters per run by your opponent. So the Warriors are 5th on the list for conceding meters per run to their opponents, with 8.43 meters conceded, whereas Penrith are first with 8.21. Brisbane are only 7th best with 8.86 meters. Looking at line speed as well, Penrith are the best with 5.49, closely followed by the Warriors, who have 5.50, and Brisbane are up at 5.97. So they're a little way off Penrith and the Warriors, who are pretty much tied on that stat. Adam Reynolds has 49 NRL tries. Since 2017, neither of these sides has had back-to-back victories against the other. The last game was a win for the Broncos. The Warriors have won 12 of their last 16 games, and the Broncos have won 11 of their last 13 games. Looking at the try map here, the Broncos concede most tries to fullbacks and left wingers with 12. The opposing fullback is Chance Nickel-Klokstad, and the opposing left winger is Marcelo Montoya. Meanwhile, the Warriors concede most tries to right wingers with 14, followed by left wingers with 10. The opposing right winger is Cobbo, and the opposing left winger is Jesse Arthurs. We've got no team news for today, guys, because we're expecting them to run out as changed. Right, so let's kick off and look at the preview. So who's got the bigger pack between the two teams? If you look at their weights, Haas weighs in at 117 kilos compared to Aden Fanua-Blake, who weighs in at 123 kilos. The Broncos lock is Patrick Carrigan, who weighs 106 kilos. He lines up against Tohu Harris, who's 108 kilos. Then you've got Flegler at 110 versus Barrett, who weighs in at 104. So in total, the Warriors have the bigger starting pack. If you look at their bench, they've got Kobe Hetherington, who's 95 kilos, Piakura, who's 102, and Palacia, who's 106. So there isn't much size or weight difference between the bench forwards. And this is slightly different to what people might actually think if you look at the team sheets. Immediately, you'd be inclined to think, oh, the Warriors have got the bigger, stronger, faster forward pack, but that's just not true. So this matchup isn't as one-sided as in the forward packs as it seems at first glance. The battle of the second row forwards also looks fairly evenly matched. Niokore is up there with the best edge forwards in the NRL, and then if you look at AFB, he scores tries and even makes line breaks, whereas Payne Haas doesn't. A benefit for the Warriors is that their forward pack has way more creativity than that of the Broncos, who are far more up and down. The Warriors pack is much stronger than that of the Storm, who barely laid a glove on the Broncos. And the Warriors also seem to have an edge at hooker with Wade Egan if you compare him to Billy Walters. Egan's service from dummy half to Sean Johnson has been excellent all season long, and he's even scored a couple of tries himself. When you compare the backs between the teams, if we start with the outside backs, you're looking at Walsh, Jesse Arthurs and Cobbo. They're great, but the Warriors' backs win on yardage. The Warriors have got a harder working back three than the Broncos do, and DWZ has been an absolutely unbelievable finisher. He's been scoring the highlight tries all season. Even though Cobo's great, if you look at the highlight reel, the two players that stand out this season for those insane finishes are DWZ and Dom Young. Chance was absolutely unbelievable last week. He made an obscene number of meters, something like over 300, and he even scored a try. And he's rock solid in his position. His combination with Sean Johnson's also been excellent. And we believe today that Reece Walsh is going to be an extremely marked man in this game. Can the Warriors rattle, stifle and force him to make mistakes by overplaying the ball? Looking at the centres, Berry and Pompey versus Staggs and Herbie, the Broncos definitely have the edge there and are a level above, so Pompey and Berry will need to have standout performances in this match. Staggs and Herbie both have 13 tries for the year, which are absolutely great figures for centres, and the Warriors centres are mostly used for decoy runs in comparison. Pompey's played every game this year and he's got 5 tries. Berry's played 16 games and he weighs in with 3 tries. And looking back at the Storm game, Staggs and Herbie swapped sides a fair bit to try and confuse the opposition, so that may be a theme that continues today. Pompey beat Staggs twice in the game earlier this season in Napier. Can he repeat the dose here and potentially try and cross for a try? He beat Staggs and put Montoya through that day. Looking at the others, Reynolds and SJ are both absolutely awesome, so we can say they cancel each other out. And it all comes back to the X Factor. Who's the X Factor in this game? It's Reece Walsh. Do his old teammates know how to stifle him? Do they know how to rattle him? Walsh's off-the-cuff plays on the outside shoulder are hugely dangerous for the Wars. We'll have to make sure he doesn't get much ball, and they'll be able to do this by controlling field position and the battle of the forward packs. To win this game, the Wars have to win the possession stats, they've got to win the field position stats and the ruck speed stats. If these are closer to 50-50, then the Broncos win this game straight up. But we believe this will be much closer than the market implies. Right, onto our verdict. The Warriors have the least offloads in the NRL and will have a high completion rate, which should limit the number of opportunities the Broncos get. Their style of football is hard to defend, with SJ running at the line and being so hard to contain as he digs into the line and brings out the best in players around him. The team are well drilled and well trained, and they have a live chance in this game. So we're happy to take a maximum bet of 5 points on the Warriors at $1.91 plus 11.5 points on the match handicap. So that's Warriors plus 11.5 points for 5 points. That's priced up at 1.91, and that's best price at Star Sports in the UK. We also like the look of Marata Niokore, who's way overs in the anytime scorer market, and we're happy to have a point on him as well at $8. So our two free bets for this week, guys, are Warriors plus 11.5, 5 points, Niokore anytime scorer, 1 point, and he's available around $8. Do shop around. Fingers crossed we have an absolutely brilliant game. It may even end in a draw. Please do give us a follow, like, and help our channel grow. Thanks guys, and good luck to everyone.